Welcome to the 54th commencement of the University of Minnesota Crookston. Let's begin, as we should, acknowledging the land we stand upon today. The University of Minnesota Crookston is situated on the lands of Native nations and carries the legacy of their struggle for survival and identity. As part of our core values, to embrace the richness and value of differences, ideas, cultures, and communities, we acknowledge these Native nations, to learn from their ways of knowing and being, and to work with them to create a more equitable and inclusive future for this region. I'd like to recognize our University of Minnesota Crookston student musicians today. In the string ensemble is Ansley Boucher, Maggie Brown, Catherine Halos, and Rebecca Meyer. And our vocal ensemble with us today are Angel Teston, Samantha Oleg, Anthony Kampa, and Austin Heimgarten. Thank you for lending us your talents. Now, we're already standing. Let's please all join in the Star-Spangled Banner. I said that a little early, except if we have any military veterans, active or reserve members, or members of the National Guard. Please stand for a moment of recognition. Thank you so much for your courageous service to this country. The 54th commencement services is also the 113th ceremony on this campus, dating back to the Northwest School of Agriculture, a residential high school that still counts many of our alums across the region, state, and the country. We honor our long legacy of education on this campus, and we strive to do our best to serve the region, state, and country as a land-grant institution with the mission of teaching, research, and outreach. Commencement, graduates, is absolutely the best day of the year on any college campus, and certainly on ours. And I'm so glad that all of you could be with us here today. My name is Mary Holtz-Claus, and I have the honor and the privilege of serving as the chancellor of the campus of the University of Minnesota Crookston. I want to welcome those here on the stage with me. Stage team, please remain standing and hold your applause until they've all been introduced. From my left is Danny Johannesson, Assistant Professor of English and today's name reader. Paul Hendricks, President of the Crookston Student Association. John Hoffman, Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs. Wamimo Abbey, a member of our class of 2013 and today's keynote speaker, and the Honorable Steve Swigum, University of the Minnesota Regent. And doesn't he look fabulous in that baseball cap that he has on, supporting our Golden Eagles today. Please join me in thanking and welcoming our stage group. You may be seated. Faculty members, please stand. Our faculty members play the central role in providing the academic education for graduates. They are the scholars who set the standards of high-quality education through their work in teaching and learning, research and creative scholarship, outreach and public service. Here at the University of Minnesota Crookston, our faculty members go way beyond their usual roles, though. As you all know, they serve as advisors, mentors, role models, counselors, and advocates. Please join me in thanking our outstanding faculty. You may be seated. Now I'll ask all of the members of our staff to stand wherever they may be. These individuals play a critical role in the education and support of our students in the areas of enrollment management, financial aid, registration, residential life, dining services, academic services, outreach and engagement, marketing, and in the services of all types. Please join me in thanking our staff members. And I get to tell some of you staff members to be seated, and the others are obviously out working and are continuing to stand, so thank you so much for your service. Graduates, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a memorable day for you. It's a great day for us too, so we're here to celebrate your accomplishments. You know what? You did it! Congratulations! Family members and friends, welcome. Welcome to our celebration of this important milestone. Thank you for supporting these graduates today and throughout their college years. Family support is vital to the importance of our university students. We all know that there's a financial investment in earning a college degree, but there's also an emotional investment and commitment for your graduates. Here at the University of Minnesota Crookston, we're also emotionally invested. We really take great pride in our graduates, and we're kind of sad to see you go. But you know what? That sadness is eclipsed today by the sense of excitement that as you venture out, we know you are going to accomplish great things. No, you guys are from the University of Minnesota. You're going to accomplish amazing things. We are so proud of you. Graduates, you've been provided a challenging and supportive learning environment. You guys have embraced those challenges and taken advantage of the opportunities. Many of you have conducted research and presented scholarly works. You've already contributed to the knowledge of the world. You've represented the University of Minnesota Crookston well during your time here on campus. You volunteered hundreds of hours of community service. You've represented the campus in dozens of athletic events across our 5-state conference and actually around the country. You've competed very successfully in state, regional, and national competitions and developed leadership skills in your campus organizations while completing your academic work. And you've done it very, very well. I want to take a moment to acknowledge that several of your fellow graduates aren't really with us today because they're competing. Members of our baseball, our softball, and our equestrian teams are in competition today. But many of those graduates who can't be with us, we wish them the best, and we know that their spirit is with us today. They and all of before us now have left your mark on the University of Minnesota Crookston. You're the reason that we're here. You've inspired our faculty, our staff, your family, your friends, your chancellor, and your vice chancellor every day by your good spirits, your hard work, your intelligence, and your creativity, by your care and your commitment, and by your hope for the future. I'd like to call attention to the colored banners that hang behind me. These banners represent our 4 academic departments in the traditional colors of the disciplines. Graduates, you may not actually know this, but the color of your tassel really represents your department. So you now are part of the academic tradition on this campus and of your chosen field of study. We hope your colored tassels will remind you of your ties to your dedicated faculty members who sit over there. In a few moments, I guarantee you, your degrees will be conferred, so just sit there patiently, from this amazing, wonderful, great University of Minnesota. The University of Minnesota is recognized around the world for its excellence in higher education, and degree conference marks the end of this chapter of your life. But it's going to create a great world before you. I'm proud of what each and every one of you have done and has accomplished so far. I know that probably I'm going to speak for moms and dads and husbands and wives and family members. They're very proud of you as well. Today's your day to embrace and celebrate that achievement. Again, congratulations to you all. But graduates, if you thought you got out of here without one more assignment, you're wrong. So here's what I'd like you to do. In a moment, on the count of 3, I'd like you to stand up. Find somebody in the audience, whether it be a friend, a faculty member, a family member, who has supported you, and I want to hear you shout out and tell them thank you. So, on the count of 3, you're going to stand up, and I am going to hear this gymnasium is going to be loud, a loud gratitude of thanks. 1, 2, 3. Shout out. Woo! So, thank you guys. That was amazing. I know that you have the gratitude for the ones who helped you along the way. So, many people have made quite a few sacrifices to be here today. I know some have been on airplanes, some have driven for 6, 8, 10 hours, and our Regent Swigum, who is with us today, also has made a pretty significant sacrifice to be with here. He lives in southern Minnesota. Minnesota is the 9th largest state of landmass, so if you've ever driven it, it takes a long time to get from the south to the north. He lives in the south, so we appreciate the 6.5-hour drive he's making to be with us here today. And then I think this has also got some people who are in agriculture that are here. Any of you in agriculture know that if you're a farmer, sometimes there's a very narrow window to get the crop in. Well, Regent Swigum is a farmer, and instead of being in the field today, planting, he's here to confer the degree. So please join me in welcoming Regent Swigum.
Thank you, Chancellor. As I said at 10 o'clock, I'm a hugger, she's a hugger. Absent of COVID, we would have hugged each other here on the stage. Very quickly before I speak to you, John, I noticed that when the students rose to pick out one special person, nobody pointed at you. It's just what I noticed. They were all going to faculty or to mothers or fathers, but nothing came up here. Next year. Chancellor, I thank you for inviting me today to be with you here in Crookston. I bring you all greetings, the Chancellor, the administration, faculty, and the Crookston community. I bring you greetings from President Joan Gable and from my colleagues on the Board of Regents. They're well aware of your success. They're well aware of your performance and the difference that you will make in the world and in our community. I also was going to have them students stand and pick out a faculty member, so important, a mother or a father, so important, a significant other, so important, who have supported you over this last very unique year. You guys have spent probably the most unique year in education that I can remember. And you've persevered, you've lived through it, and you've performed. The faculty members, your parents, your significant others, your friends, are very, very happy for you and very proud of you. The most important thing, though, in life is that you feel good about yourself. You feel good about what you've accomplished. The American experiment, the American adventure, one of our forefathers called it, the American adventure, is built upon thought, planning, preparation, hard work, risk. Those are the things that have built this American system that we have. The best, I would say, in the world. But the American venture is, you're living it. You've prepared, you've worked, you've acted, and you're ready to bring your difference now from Crookston, Minnesota, to our communities, to our state, and even to our world. Thank you for the difference that you make in making our world a better place, a place that is more safe, that is more just, that has more freedom, a place that will be better for you and I and our families to live. Thanks for the difference you make. Congratulations.
Thank you, Regent Swigum, and thanks for calling me out there. I appreciate that. As the Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs at the University of Minnesota Crookston, I'm proud to introduce our 2020 and 2021 commencement speaker. Wawimo Abbey, or Abby, graduated from the University of Minnesota Crookston in 2013 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management. He went on to earn his Master of Public Administration and Nonprofit Management Policy in International Relations and Affairs degree from New York University's Robert Wagner Graduate School of Public Service. He is a Queen's Young Leader, Leading Change Scholar at Cambridge University, and he is also the founder of Clean Water for Everyone, a social venture that provides access to clean water to thousands of people across multiple countries. He's also the founder of Izuzu, a credit-building app and technology platform designed to help people save money and build credit. In fact, many of our graduates have participated in this program. Abby, it's good to have you back home. Welcome for your words.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor Hoffman, for that kind introduction. I am deeply honored to be here today. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, Regent Swigum, Chancellor Holzclaws, faculty, staff, parents, families, and most of all, congratulations to the University of Minnesota Crookston Class of 2021. You did it. It took a village, and I am immensely grateful to spend this special moment with each and every one of you this afternoon. I also want to use this opportunity to wish all the incredible mothers a happy Mother's Day in advance. There's no better weekend to be a mother. I'm sure you're filled with pride and boundless optimism. Your sacrifice is greatly appreciated. As a son of a single mother, I understand the abounding sacrifices and the quintessential nature of that bond in our lives. It is always great to be back on campus. As some of you might have heard, I started my journey here over 11 years ago. I miss the people, the exceptional faculty and staff, but I do not miss the 40 below weather And I remember those cold Januaries, walking from Skyberg Hall to Dowell in negative 40, wind chill, my face is numb and utterly cold. I'm sure you can relate, and I miss all those camaraderie from my fellow colleagues, but all those special moments prepared me for what I did and when I went to New York University. UMC was my refuge. It was my home away from home. It kept me grounded. It shaped me into who I am today. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Let's face it, the past year has been utterly difficult. We're experiencing the greatest health and economic crisis of our lifetime. In the United States, 33 million people have contracted COVID-19 virus. Of those, 560,000 are now with us today. We all know someone that got the virus or someone that didn't make it. I fundamentally believe we are unshakable, and together we will overcome this crisis. I reflected on what would be the most helpful to you as you embark on this next chapter of your life. Let me be clear. I do not have all the answers. Each of you will have to discover your own path, guided by a unique set of experiences, but perhaps I can offer a few suggestions that may be useful along your way. First, defy the odds and think big. I've always believed there's a rainbow after the storm, and no condition in life is permanent. My story exemplifies this reality. You see, I grew up in the slums of Lagos, Nigeria. I lost my father at the age of 2. My mother and 2 feisty sisters raised me. My mother worked for 23 years at the National Post Office in Nigeria. She earned very little, but used most of what she earned to invest in my high school education. She always believed that education is the greatest equalizer, even though she only had a high school degree. Put simply, we were poor, but the destitution of our social position didn't limit the depth of my imagination. In 2009, I immigrated from Lagos, Nigeria, 90-degree weather to negative 20 degrees in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I asked myself, how could people live in this freezer? I'd never seen snow at that point. It was indeed a character-building experience. As many international students can relate, I didn't have access to financial aid. To pay for college, my mother and I walked into one of the largest financial institutions in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Unfortunately, we were turned away and had to go borrow money from a predatory lender at over 400% interest rate. In addition to that, my mother pawned my father's ring and a whole bunch of jewelry. And that's how we got our start in this country. I remember the jeweler asked my mother, "Why are you selling this valuable jewelry?" My mother, with the greatest conviction, looked at him and said, "I believe one day my son will pay it back and even get me something greater." You see, during this difficult time, one of our family members encouraged me to work at the gas station. But I took the bus from St. Cloud, Minnesota, up to Crookston when I didn't even know a soul, just to start class with a partial payment, not knowing how I was going to pay for the end of the semester. While at UMC, I worked at the Academic Assistance Center, caused good trouble by petitioning the university with a research study that showed students wanted fresh produce, and we collectively, after a year-long campaign, secured funding for the first ever campus farm. This helped students get access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Sequel to that, I also engaged in research. I got published researching the intricate relations of China-Africa relations. I created my first company, working alongside my classmates and colleagues to build a company that provided access to clean water for over 250,000 people in 4 countries today. After graduating in 2013, I received a full scholarship to study at New York University for graduate school. Imagine if I listened to that close family friend. Maybe I've made it to UMC and did all the things I had the opportunity to do, and definitely wouldn't be speaking to you all today. Remember, whatever you're going through at the moment is preparing you for something greater that is yet to come. You must defy the odds and latch onto that American principle. No matter where you come from, no matter what you look like, or your financial status should never determine where you end up on the wealthiest nation the world has ever seen. I stand before you because of the sacrifices many endured for me to be who I am today. So class of 2020 and 2021, defy the odds and think big. My second piece of advice is to have moral courage. What does that mean? Moral courage is the courage to take action for moral reasons despite the risk of adverse consequences. I'm reminded of the word of Brian Stevenson, an American lawyer and social justice activist. He once said, "The true measure of our character is not how we treat the poor, how we treat the disfavored. It's truly how we treat the accused and incarcerated and the condemned." Today, we live in a society where the rich continues to get richer, and the poor farmer in the northwestern corner of Minnesota feels like she doesn't have a voice. We live in a society where 20 million people are on the brink of evictions, sequel to the greatest economic and health crisis we've ever seen. We live in a society where families work overtime and still living in a poverty. America is a great nation, but I'm afraid we're building a mansion on a sinking sand. And we should all be outraged. We have so much work to do, but I believe in this graduating class. With your moral courage and track record, I'm forever optimistic about the future. Throughout my frequent visits to campus, I have seen how you students have championed projects to revitalize Crookston downtown. I've seen you lead projects to educate the incarcerated to have a better life post-rehabilitation. I've seen you champion social justice issues sequel to the killing of George Floyd. That is the true genius of this graduating class. That burning passion to never accept mediocrity as the order of the day. That moral courage to rise above your individualistic concerns to the broader needs of society. I have so much faith that you will champion a morally courageous world. You will stand up for what's right and fight tirelessly for a more just society. There's an African saying, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you fundamentally go together. Class of 2020 and 2021, you will be tested. You will fail. But be caught trying. Through our collective might, we will defy all the odds and leave this world better than we found it. So I encourage you to remain hopeful because hopelessness is the enemy of progress. I encourage you to have courage because pessimism yields mediocrity. I encourage you to stay persistent because justice is a constant struggle. So if you feel the same passion that I do today, if you feel the same energy that I do today, I have no doubt you'll make this country and the world at large a more perfect place. Thank you so much, class of 2021, and congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you, Abby, for your words. Thank you for your voice in the world as an alum of our institution and as a man of character. In a moment, I will present the candidates for graduation, and Dr. Danny Johannesson will introduce each of the candidates before they walk across the stage. A few words of directions. Graduates, the student marshal will lead one row at a time to line up to come across the stage. Please bring your name card and your diploma holder with you. As you come up the stairs, please hand your name card to Dr. Johannesson so she can read it. And then as you walk across the stage, please pause at the X on the platform and turn to face the audience for a photo. The X's are equally spaced around the seal in the background for this photo, and the photo will be made available to you on our website to download in a day or two. For the safety of everyone involved, I request that you refrain from hugs and handshakes. This will be particularly difficult for our chancellor, and that you keep your facial coverings in place. Family members, please remain in your seats, but take note of where your graduate is sitting, as we want to make sure that you see them as they walk across the stage. And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for. Class of 20 and 2021, please rise. Chancellor Holsclaws and Regent Swigum, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the University of Minnesota Crookston, I have the pleasure and honor of presenting these candidates who have completed the requirements for a baccalaureate degree from the University of Minnesota through the Crookston campus. The rest of the candidates may have a seat until the student marshal directs you to come forward.
Davis Ekman. Graduating with distinction, Aria Kapsner. McKenna Wilmer. Christina Wright. Sarah Yon. Pete Beam. Graduating with distinction, Sonia Rodriguez Garcia. Michaela Miney. Sadira Nordstrom. Ellie Wagon. Kim Myers. Hannah Ristall. Cassie Van Epps. Kimi Shiozawa. Rosaline Cansoli. Charlie Shocker. Lauren Green. Rose Dittman. Ellie Schomburg. Grace Netzer. Haleyana Sundin. Adrian Schoeneman. Destiny Shug. Corey Matthias. Wyatt Ziegler. Brittany Myers. Graduating with high distinction, Ben Hansen. Scott Jordheim. Autumn Petron. Brooke Van Overbeck. Vanessa Shelton. Maggie Peterson. Graduating with distinction, Alyssa Evavold. Sarah Cartier. Whitney Fenna. Rayanne Michael. Jordan Newberg. Kyle Hellerud. Graduating with distinction, Lisa Kolseth. Grace Ruckheim. Hannah Ruckheim. Allison Bott. Graduating with distinction, Michaela Locker. Graduating with distinction, Jordan Vandeneindy. Cameron Larson. Marley Steffes. Ray Lansrath. Graduating with distinction, Mila Lewis. Jane Strand. Morgan Collins. Emma Nelson. Graduating with distinction, Maddie Stewart. Katie Emmett. Elora DeMuth. Sadie Bingham. Dan Rowe. Peiyu Shen. Graduating with high distinction, Yutong Lee. Graduating with distinction, Kiyu Lai. Stephanie Severson. Kiana Johnson. Matthew Vedelson. Graduating with distinction, Colton Schremp. Dylan Sanis. Jackson Peterson. Ross Hansen. Anna Olson. Carissa Kraulick. Veronica Lundquist. Peter Hendricks. Jade White. Zachary Zimmer. Deshaun Diggs. Marshall Bonga. Salman Hassan Syed. Manpreet Singh. Gabriella Pinto. Ashley Freund. Samantha Proctor. Graduating with distinction, Paige Pitlick. Michaela Lano. Trevor Long. Graduating with high distinction, Sydney Kruselbrink. Graduating with distinction, De'Ara Gresham. Graduating with high distinction, Leanne King. Patricia Tweet. Jessica Olson. Graduating with high distinction, Lisa Schrader. Graduating with high distinction, Kaylee Creighton. Graduating with distinction, Tara Wolschlager. Denissa Brecken. Graduating with high distinction, Lauren Medina. Michelle McCraw. Michael Klasko. Samantha Van Kempen. Madison Apert. Graduating with distinction, Alexander Wolf. Samantha Hartung. Brooke Simbaluk. Courtney Lintwed. Amanda Trandom. Graduating with high distinction, Jen Lax. Paige Weekly. Graduating with distinction, Tyler Kropensky. Abby Gittinger. Graduating with distinction, Jessica Withrow. Molly Cordes. Graduating with high distinction, Nicole Harsha. Sydney Melby. Shania Heck. Anessa Weber. Iris Gibson. Nancy Gothier. Jialong Huang. Graduating with distinction, Shuyu Wang. Graduating with high distinction, Tavia Lawson. Cassie Quarry. Belinda Labor. Chelsea Hullerman. Graduating with high distinction, Annie Duran. Graduating with distinction, Eric Freeberg. Graduating with distinction, Elsa Whitney. Graduating with high distinction, Brittany Annis. Sandra Figueroa. Graduating with distinction, Christina Jacobson. April Sheldon. Roger Pence. Inga Smith. Julie Alexander. Indasa Montoya. Jared Bunn. Jermaine Delgado. Ashley Ratz. Malik Selami. Brendan Harris. Melissa Marine. Elizabeth Bush. Ellie Lindstrom. Shannon Stinchcomb. Alina Ayub. Graduating with high distinction, Sarah Cyberlick. Graduating with high distinction, Janelle Escalin. Nicole McMillan. Katie Jorscom. Caroline Bender. Graduating with high distinction, Amber Kroll. Graduating with distinction, Madison Bruley. Melita Argueta. Graduating with distinction, Bruno Marquez. Nathan Demery. Graduating with distinction, Jonathan Olson. Katina Paravolotis. Graduating with distinction, Levi Nagel. Benjamin Halos. Jack Thibodeau. Skylar Nishi. Carly Rennie. Abdi Hakim Adam. Graduating with high distinction, Lauren Wallace. Graduating with high distinction, Katie Linneman. Zuri Smith Sanchez. Burhanu Shashigo. Amanda Walton. Olusegun Ekisola.
Let's extend one more congratulatory applause to our graduates. Regent Swigum, having presented you with the University of Minnesota Crookston class of 2020 and 2021, I invite you to the podium to confer their degrees from the University of Minnesota.
Graduates, everyone in this gymnasium feels good about your accomplishments. The most important thing is you feel good about your degree from the University of Minnesota. Feel good. Now, my understanding is that that degree is not official until I read these words, so you need to listen. Will the graduates for the degrees please rise? Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Regents, I now confer upon you the degrees for which you have been qualified. Graduates, you may take your tassels, move them to the left side of your mortarboards. You may be seated, and congratulations to you.
Thank you, Regent Swigum. Let me be the first to congratulate you all and introduce you to the alumni class of 20 and 21. I encourage you to sit back and reflect for a few moments about the monumental work that you have done to get here today. And I want you to listen to the song entitled For Good by the UM Crookston Ensemble. After the song, CSA President Paul Hendricks will come to the podium and share some remarks and reflections for you all. Vocal Ensemble, take it away.
Something we must learn, and we are changed for the better. Because I knew you. Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for
Good afternoon, Regent Swigum, Vice President Hoffman, Chancellor Holst-Claus, and honored platformed guests, faculty, staff, alumni, students, and of course, the classes of 2020 and 2021. When thinking about what I wanted to convey to you today, I was at a complete loss. For those of you who don't know, I will not be graduating. This is my 4th year, but I have opted to stay for a 5th at UMC, which has made it difficult to try and come up with something to say to those who are graduating. So what I decided to do was to leave the wisdom giving to the Chancellor and other speakers and just reflect on things that make UMC the place we know and love. We all have those memories that are going to stick with us, even after we leave here. For me, those are usually times when I did something embarrassing, but I will also remember the times that faculty and staff went out of their way to help me succeed, and when this place started to feel less like a place that I went to school to and more like a second home. Small campus, big degree. Honestly, is more than just some catchy marketing ploy. It really is what the University of Minnesota Crookston is all about. The campus may be small, but what it lacks in size makes up for in heart. Not many college graduates can say they went to a university where they knew their professors on a personal level and were just as good of friends with some of the staff members as they were with their classmates. Or where the chancellor is just as likely to greet students with a hug as a handshake. Most of you probably came here for the small class sizes and impressive programs, but I can guarantee most of you stayed because of the people you met here, because as cheesy as it sounds, we really are a family here at UMC. One of the best things about UMC is the people. We all know how much the professors care and the staff members we can go to when life is getting a little too rough to handle on your own. In addition to all these great people, we have the friends that we made. A lot of people come to Crookston not knowing anyone and leaving with a herd of friends. Whether your freshman roommate worked out for the best or if you found your squad a little later down the road, the students here are something special. Where else can you have an awesome group of friends ranging from the pre-vet students, a little too concerned about their GPA, the student athletes that surprise you with their kindness, and those kids that often go unnoticed but mean the world to those that know them. In all these years at UMC, we have learned a lot. Sure, the curriculum was great, but the things we learned went far beyond that. From the group assignments where you either did all the work, had all the work done for you, or were one of those few that had things evenly divided, and we all definitely learned something about working with others. We have learned how to work in different organizations. Whether you were in a campus club, organization, or part of an athletic team, we all know how to plan events, fundraisers, and get things done. All of these are bonuses because there was never a formal lecture on them. They were things you had to discover on your own. They made you leave your comfort zone and ask questions. Now to the shout-outs. If you are not a graduate and you are here today, thank you. You have all played key roles in the journey that all of these graduates are finishing this afternoon. From the hours that each of our faculty spend ensuring the students learn what is important to the staff members that are there to make sure everything runs smoothly, There is never a lack of support on campus. And families, parents, siblings, grandparents, and everyone else, thank you for being there to take the calls late at night when the stress levels broke through a whole new threshold, and for sharing in the excitement whenever good news was to be spread. Thanks for the random text messages letting us know that you're thinking of us. Friends, the families that you choose, thank you for being there. Thanks for being the ones to make the long trek to Crookston just to hang out for the weekend. For always wanting to know what's going on in our lives, and for setting us straight when we were getting a little off course. All of these people have played a part in the journey of these graduates. So as you all get to have walked across the stage and received your diploma, let's recall the great experiences that we have had here at UMC. As you graduate and transition into the real world, remember the great support you have gotten to this point, and know that it will continue as you grow and continue on your journey. Thank you to everyone here today, family, friends, faculty, staff, and graduates. Congratulations to the classes of 2020 and 2021. A tradition unique to the University of Minnesota Crookston is the presence of the academic torch at special ceremonies. This tradition goes back to 1968. The torch is a symbol of the shared governance between administration and the students. The symbolic light of the torch represents the illuminating quality of education as well as the educational philosophy of the University of Minnesota. As the outgoing student body president, I will now pass the torch to Vinayak Sharma, incoming president of the Crookston Student Association.
On behalf of the Crookston Student Association, I accept this torch to lead the student body into the 2021-2022 academic year. I would like to thank Paul Hendricks for his leadership this past year as the president of the Crookston Student Association. I will do my very best to carry on a tradition of excellence, and I extend my congratulations to the class of 2020 and 2021. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Vinayak. We look forward to your service and to your leadership in the coming year. And thank you, Paul, for all of the time, effort, energy that you have given to be such a successful leader. Whoa, it's been a wonderful day. We're so excited to be really celebrating with all of you today. I want to offer my sincere thanks to all who've been involved today with today's event, especially the members of our commencement committee whose names are in the program, media services, and our facilities and operations staffs. We all know that events like this don't just happen when you decide that you want them to happen. Instead, it takes much effort, planning, and particularly with COVID, figuring out how to make this happen. So thank you very much for all of you who've worked so hard. And once again, thanks to our faculty, our staff, our students, alumni, our families, and friends, as well as members of the community of Crookston. We're all part, as Paul just said, of the University of Minnesota Crookston family. Thanks to each of you for coming together today to celebrate our classes of 20 and 2021. I want to offer a few final words because this is the last time I'm probably going to be able to do this, to offer words to all of you. For graduates, commencement is a day of many emotions. I'm sure you're relieved that you finally got through that last set of finals, and we're kind of relieved that you did too. But you're probably also feeling some other emotions, maybe some emotions of pride, as Regent Swiggum said, the pride in your accomplishment of what you did. Amazement that this time has flown by so quickly. Probably some happiness and excitement. A lot of you are moving on to some next new adventures. And sadness that maybe you won't see some of these friends for quite a while again. And perhaps you're all feeling a little anxious. I remember a billion years ago when I graduated, and I too was feeling a little bit anxious about the uncertainties, because you don't exactly know what that future is going to look like. But I can assure you that your University of Minnesota Crookston faculty and staff, myself included, share all but one of those emotions with you. We don't have any anxiety about what you're going to do or what you're going to be. We know you are well prepared and you are going to go out and do great things in this world. Actually, no, you're not going to do great things. You're going to do amazing things. You're going to be like our alumnus, Abby, who's going to come back and tell us those things that you have done to change the world. So we're excited as you head off to your jobs or to graduate school. Be well. Continue to do those good things that you've been doing. We know you will. Please stay connected through your Alumni Association and tell us what's been going on in your life. Share your stories of your good work with us. And if you don't mind, please share with others a little bit about the experiences here at the University of Minnesota Crookston so we can help the next generation of Golden Eagles. I think our Golden Eagle, she was getting a little too loud, so our little Golden Eagle just left a while ago, but I didn't mind the noise, Mama, it was fine. So I was going to say, help our next generation of Golden Eagles know about the University of Minnesota Crookston. This campus has been home to you, and wherever you go, the University of Minnesota Crookston goes with you. Visit us often, and please know you are always welcome to come back here. We will always welcome you to your home. Again, congratulations and best wishes. Now, in just a moment, with our mask on, we're going to all join together in singing Hail Minnesota. After the song, we'll begin the recessional. Faculty and staff, once you leave, make a social distance receiving line on the mall to congratulate our graduates. Audience, if you wouldn't mind staying in your seats until our graduates leave, and then you can come join us on the mall on those wonderful celebratory moments and good wishes. So we will stay here until all the last pictures are taken and all of those goodbyes have been exchanged. Now everyone, please rise as you're able and join in singing Hail Minnesota. The words, in case you're like me, don't know them, are in the inside back cover of your program.
Graduating with high distinction, Evan Barnes, Todd Michael Boyles, Ian Calhoun, Chris Call, Callie Anna Creighton, Meredith W. Cross, Tricia K. Dalkey, Aaron Del Rocco, Madeline Sue Drana, Riley Elizabeth Ellison, Jonah Figueredo, Jessica Lynn Flatham, Justin Andrew Gaddis, Daniel Griskovich, Michelle Marie Harrelson, Elizabeth Malia Hofschild, Noah Carl Heckert, Amber Johnson, Julie Johnson, Noah Edward Calway, Emily Knabel, Brian Gregory Kors, Renee Kruger, Christopher Lang, Tavia Lawson, Chanju Lee, Jerian Renee Lind, Dan Lucid, Shayla Dorothy Martaylor, Sean Elliott Matthias, Nicole Mazur, Caitlin Marie Michaels, Nicole Peterson Morgan, Ellen Mary Murphy, Flavio Ribeiro, Caitlin Rickers, Grace Roars, Nicholas Roger Rudnick, Sabrina Rux, Lisa Ann Schrader, Jessica Leah Schultz, Chloe Ruth Smith, Kayla Ann Stangland, Nicholas Vogel, Jordan Robleski, Amy Jo Zappa, Yushin Zhu. Graduating with distinction, Heather Renee Anderson, Mackenzie Bartles, Spencer Scott Billings, Magda Blumhart, Natalie Borer, Anne Marie Bouillon, Kinley Morgan Burke, Ross Chandonet, Tessa Coster, William K. Cross, Nathan M. DeTurk, Sandeep Shivaji Gambhiro, Edlin Gonzalez, Rosanna Hill, Kirsty Hocking, Logan Huso, Gregory A. Johnson, Maxim Kabachenko, Anna Bernice Kirkpatrick, Megan Ty Cook, Kristen Elizabeth Lake, Samantha Renee Larson, Sabrina Lawyer, Shun Liu, Bruno Bormolini Marquez, Kenzie Brianna Maynard, Kylie Ashton Montcalm, Darla K. Muckenhern, Amanda Olson, Michael Wayne Pennington, Holly Peterson, Paige Pitlick, Corey Sandra Powell, Ryan Ratcliffe, Claire Elizabeth Rooney, Claire Ruckheim, Eric Thomas Rude, Robin Schnobrick, Ryan Schoening, Christina Rose Schrader, Caitlin Sickink, Thor Thomas Sko, Alyssa Margaret Thomas, Michael Trippi, Kayla Marie Tushia, Taylor Walters, Whitney Wiedenborner, Raylyn Nicole Wildman, Mulusalam Akili Wolde, Mengyu Shu, Melanie Zickrick, Paul Amott, Kenzie Olivia Osnes, Hannah Marie Abel, Thomas Andrew Ahern, Heidi Allen, Saeed Alsubusi, Tommy Altendal, Jenna Anderson, Sawyer David Anderson, Amy Anderson, Tyler Anderson, Aaron Armbruster, Megan Ashoff, Ariana May Ash, Alina Ayub, Allie Dawn Babler, Neil Albert Bacon, Brett Badman, Matthew Charles Baker, Stephanie Baker, Quinn Allen Bauer, Roland Jonathan Besa, Eric John Benke, Justin Belfweel, Vadim Mikhailovich Belanovich, Eston Beneda, Angela Ranwick Beniak, Nicole Besonen, Cheetah Nanda Batari, Jody Lee Black, Emma Bliss, Jacqueline Marie Bowles, Joanna R. Bugard, Britta Lynn Buzel, Bailey Bradford, Ben Branscombe, Richard Devin Brown, Christopher Stephen Bruschi, Melissa Brunius, Serena Birkdahl, Jacqueline R. Burke, Amber Nicole Burrows, Eric Carter, Jianhao Chen, Drew Chesley, Michaela Rayleigh Christopher, Shane Robert Chubati, Michael B. Clark, Amanda Marie Clary, Harrison Cleary, Andrew Scott Clow, Richard Cobble, Tyler Cofield, Malcolm Cohen, Josh Collins, Travis Conorier, Luis Contreras, Ryan Corneeler, Hunter Patrick Cox, Daniel James Season, Ada Cecilia Da Silva, Brittany L. Darnell, Tanaya Jade Davidson, Zach Davis, Joseph D. Jarnett, Jordan Landon DeBoer, Andrew Decker, Jermaine Delgado, Kayla Ann DeMuth, Gabrielle Deppa, Ryan Dieterman, Elliot Douglas Dickey, Brendan Manuel dos Santos, Megan E. Doty, Amor Dozel, Philip Lee Dreher, Alicia Dickoff, April Ebanks Agarcia, Taylor Eklund Visser, Davis Ekman, Wafa Ahmed El Khalifa, Regis Eller, Brad Allen Ellsworth, Brianna Erickson, Randy K. Erickson, Temi Fakuaho, Nick Falzone, Abdir Isaac H. Farah, Erica Feeney, Whitney Fenna, Samantha Ann Fisher, L. Lynn Ford, Joshua Paul Fraser, Mason Fugelberg, Griffin Fussy, Hao Gao, Romulo Javier Garcia, John David Gatwood, Jasmine S. Gill, Megan Roxanne Getz, Elizabeth Ann Galkowski, Jennifer Good, Tina Gooden, Margot Page Gordon, Michael Grinali, Lauren Green, Ryan Greenwalt, Dalton Gross, Austin Gross, Aaron Grover, Kristen Hall, Bill D. Harmon, Kyra M. Harsha, Joshua M. Heil, Chelsea Mariah Hine, Carter Hendrickson, Peter Hendricks, Xenia Marie Hillman, Bryn Hodge, Kyle William Holick, Aaron Holcraft, Scott Holm, Trayton John Hout, Jason Huang, Nafisa Isaac, Evan Corliss Jensen, Yishun Jiang, Chase Johnson, Christy Johnson, Lauren Ashley Johnson, Victoria Johnson, Emily Johnson, Jen Johnson, Reese Michael Johnson, Stacy Joe Johnson, Kayla Jones, Levi Juntanen, Jolynn Kayla Caden, Joshua Koch, Ashley A. Kessler, Matthew Kindom, Aaron Knutson, Ben Neil Knutson, AJ Kobetsky, Tori Cook, Brittany Kosak, Carissa Lynn Kraulick, Luke Kreplin, Mickey Cromie, Hannah Marie Kruger, Michael Kumar, Brandon Lacker, Joshua Michael Lanasa, Michaela M. Lano, Jacob William Larkin, Chad David Larson, Danette Faye Larson, Joseph Michael Larson, Ben Lee, Liangqing Li, Zachary Lee, Travis Aaron Lee, Joseph Lenahan, Jiaji Li, Jiawei Li, Emma Jean Lidke, April Lee Livers, Trevor Escobar Long, Benjamin Richard Lord, John Lucid, Quincy Ray Ludke, Tracy Lee Lunick, Jonathan Lund, Jesse Lundy Burnside, Leisha Lisney, Michael Thomas McDonald, Zachary Paul Malakowski, Melissa Ann Marin, Amy Joyce Adkins Marson, Warren Matilla, Cole May, LaDerek McCrae, Jody L. McCumber, Herschel Lewis McPherson, Mikhail Memedovich, Dylan John Mackenzie Mendez, Stephen Allen Meshke, Robert Eugene Mikshel, Faisal Mohammed, Osab H. Mohammed, David Joseph Molitor, Ashlyn Monson, Hee-In Moon, Freya Renee Moore, Logan T. Moreau, Lacey Moreland, Alicia Morris, Olivia Jean Moss, Ben Moose, Melissa Marie Munn, Michaela Lorraine Musick, Suwa Na, Ne Dingwan, Seth Taylor Newton, Danny Wynn, Javier Nicolau, Jonah Neary, Skylar Marie Nishi, Marissa Nix, Leah Novalon, Allison May Oberg, Thomas Oberly, Alexandra Ogdahl, Anna Olson, Carissa Owens, Michael Allen Pangrak, Matthew Christopher Patrick, Christina Powell, Bryce Paulson, Brock Pearson, Christine Kelly Peltier, Wyatt Pepple, Clark M. Peterson, Paige Pettit, V. Pham, Jennifer Pham, Becky Plunkett, Kaylee Marie Pratt, Samantha Proctor, Jade Prophet, Olivia Putin, Sheila Rainey, Jason Tyler Rarick, Courtney Reeder, Stephen Reed, Alyssa Rem, Andy Rentschler, Erica Rebar, Shantae Melissa Riley, Molly Mae Riley, Jolie Marie Roberts, Michaela Rodriguez, Brianna Y. Rogers, Jamie L. Rogers, Bobby Rose, Hannah Ruckheim, Cole Runge, Annabelle Toyaziri Ripa, Ahmednoor Sadiq, Rosie Sanchez, Christina Shalanka, Jason Thomas Schurer, Ben Schlock, Amber Schoeneke, Allie Schuler, Jalen Scott, Zachary P. Seipel, Cameron Shanks, April Sheldon, Taquan Shelton, Miranda Schindelbauer, Adam Shikes, James Sierra, Michael Slezak, Ashley Smith, Lingfeng Song, Danielle Marie Steinke, Emmett Stevens, Janica Stewart, Joseph Stewart, John Francis Strasser, Alexandra Maria Stutgen, Rachel Elaine Sullivan, Salman Hassan Syed, Zakia Tadisi, Tyson Bryant Talixon, Janie Lee Thau, Nathan K. Thies, Christo Theodoridis, Jack Austin Thibodeau, Karsten Thomas, Jennifer Sue Thompson, Reagan Elizabeth Thrasher, Ian Frederick Spencer Timberlake, Nicholas A. Torgerson, Ryan L. Trapp, Morgan Douglas Treffs, Reginald Tawan Troop, Emmanuel Sigaye, Jacob Michael Vandal, Brandon Stephen Van Watermullen, Vadim Verk, Tyler Vold, Austin Walker, Anthony Waller, Shengzheng Wang, Wikian Wang, Shelby Nicole Wastwheat, Ashley Watkins, Paige Weekly, Brendan D. Weber, Erica Webster, Sean Michael Wegman, Carly Wursel, Mariah Nicole Wetzel, Jill Diane Whitcomb, Nikki White, Megan L. Wine, Hope Lauren Williams, Tennille Winger, Anthony Lee Winters, Miranda Wohlers, Ethan Wojnarowicz, Samantha Jo Wolf, Laura Wong, Maxwell Robert Woodis, Nicholas Wunsch, Robert Francis Weepy, Jared Vincent Zachman, Sarah Zelmer, Jingji Zhang, Hongdi Zhang, Wyatt Michael Ziegler, Morgan Zimney, Emily Megan Zitzman, graduating with high distinction, Ulrich Oskov, Ryan Anderson, Nick John Anderson, Brittany Marie Annis, Scott Archer, Denny James Bartlow, Courtney K. Byer, Ryan James Blankenberger, Jeffrey Robert Bloom, John Bushman, Christine Lynn Cameron, Yilin Che, Hongkai Chen, Aaron James Christensen, Bobby Chu, Frederick David Deichler, Camille Ann Diamond, Annie Duran, Carrie Emslander, Janelle Eskelin, Sheila M. French, Abdinasir Mukhtar Goni, Allison Ramona Graves, Volodymyr Gritsai, Lydia Elizabeth Hansen, Ben Hansen, Nicole Harsha, Terry Heddleston Radisky, Emma Hobson, Julia Holter, Kaylee Johnson, Jamie Kaspzak, Christine Kelm, Matthew Kemet, Leanne King, Katie Kirsch, Caitlin Jessica Neefsey, Helena Crocht, Amber Marie Kroll, Sydney Crisselbrink, Nicole Lene Larson, Jen Lax, Huang Li, Katie Lieneman, Suzanne Lott, Courtney Danielle Malloy, Jennifer Jane Marcus, Sarah Rose McCarthy, Jared Lee McLemore, Deb McMullen, Stephanie Taylor McWilliams, Lauren Medina, Timothy Ernest Mosher II, Jenho Eng, Juanita Ocampo Forrest, Trevor Powell, Emily Corcoran Reed, LaDonna Hope Runnels, Patrick Scully, Sarah Sieberlich, Albert Sue, Ben Smith, Brent Staples, Gan T. Tao Tron, Chantel Verbout, Heidi Ann Wald, Lauren Wallace, Wyatt Chad Wardner, Michelle Nicole Wieland. Graduating with distinction, Agayan Adhikari, Haley Elaine Isles, Elizabeth Grace Austin, Josh Acock, Joshua Baker, Madison Marie Bruley, Sarah Teresa Becky, Travis W. Boulay, Susan Bundy, Celeste Oriana Alexandra Campbell, Scott Eastman, Alyssa Kate Evavold, Grace Fillick, Eric Freeberg, Anthony Fronty, Jessica Gary, Brittany Gast, Suleiman Ali Ghiarushi, De'Ara Gresham, Christina Jacobson, Alicia Jepson, Bryce Jorgensen, Carson Josend, Aria Kapsner, Lisa Kolseth, Tyler Andrew Kropensky, Michaela Catherine Lacker, Kiyu Lai, Bin Lee, Yutong Lei, Mila Lewis, Jonathan Myers, Levi Nagel, Sandra Marie Nelson, Jessica Nickren, Jade Kelly Olson, Jonathan Olson, Melissa Olson, Thomas James Roberts, Melly Rodriguez, Sonia Rodriguez Garcia, Anna Ronyak, Colton Cade Schremp, Bridget Jean Schweitzer, Michael Scott, Michelle Ann Sibbert, Danielle Silva, Derek William Sorensen, Martha M. Stelmach, Maddie Stewart, Landon Swenson, Heidi Tosick, Jessica Twomey, Jordan Vanden Ind, Shuyu Wong, Ashley Welch, Elsa Alice Whitney, Jessica Ann Withrow, Alexander P. Wolf, Tara Marie Wolschlager, Duramsa Ahmed Abduali, Abdiwali Elias Abduali, Tyler James Abramson, Tyler Michael Atchison, Kathy Ackroyd, Abdi Hakim Adam, Alex Idukas, Ron Albrecht, Julie Ann Alexander, Carol Alianu, Jared Anderson, Adalberto Aparicio Jr., Madison Sheila Apert, Dylan Arsenault, Melita Yvette Canellis, Tanner Joseph Armstrong, Megan Oslison, Bryce Andrew Atchison, Stephen Ora, Jenna Marie Ayers, Kyler Banks, Austin Bartlett Chase, Pete Beam, Faith Lynn Benassi, Caroline Bender, Oliver Berglund, Kelly Marie Berthiaum, Sadie Bingham, Kayla Nicole Bitson, Penny Christine Black, Rachel Blue Dog, Mary A. Boateng, Brian Bokuski, Katie M. Boleen, Josh Bollig, Chris Radliff Bonifield, Allison Marjorie Bott Steffel, James Charles Bowers, Ellie Bowman, Asa Boyd, Stephen Patrick Boyle, Brianna Lauren Brow, Renee Breddy, Denissa Brecken, Malika Brown, Hunter Brown, Mark David Bryan, Ben Bryant, Jared Bunn, Jason Patrick Burdick, Elizabeth Esther Bush, Joseph Alexander Butler, Abigail Cardenuto, Nicole Carroll, Sarah Cartier, Megan Cerny, J.Z. Chan, Sarah Chapman, Javon Chappelle, Yunkyung Cho, Jongmin Choi, Reed Joseph Sisler, Henry Darifa, Morgan Collins, Ashley Conlon, Patrick V. Cook, Sierra Leona Coons, Molly Cordes, Shelby Grace Cronk, Caitlin Crow, Brooke Simbaluk, Victoria Alyssa Dolly, Lindsay Dammel, Jared Aaron Davey, Kara Lee Delaney, Nathan Demery, Elora Joy DeMuth, Gregory Diaz, Deshaun Malik Diggs, Athena Demario Dunn, Rose Dittman, Christina Marie Draper, Rajesh D'Souza, Jameson Duncan, Sarah Lee Vergston, Lisa Catherine Dipwick, Olusegun O. Ikesola, Katie Ann Emmett, Becky Engels, Bethany Ensminger, Jennifer Michael Erickson, Felicia Essler, Nikki Jo Essington, Joy Ezeki, Katie Farmer, Jennifer Lynn Fiala, Sandra Figueroa, Scott Finberg, Dustin James Finley, Rose Flan, Star Flynn, Brandon Forrest, Sean Michael Foss, Jack Franz, Ashley Renee Freund, Jordan Freeberg, Elizabeth Rose Frone, Enrique Alejandro Garcia, Miriam Aya Garuba, Nancy Mae Gauthier, Nicole Lynn Gay, Kendra Gilbertson, Margaret Louise Gleim, Carolyn Glover, Matt Gore, Lindsay Mae Gorton, Ebony Gray, Anthony Green, Rita Marie Gressick Harrigan, Melina Hope Gruthius, Jaden Grover, Dakota Guterjohn, Abby Marie Gittinger, Anne Marie Hagel, Benjamin Isaac Halos, Dustin Hanning, Ross C. Hansen, Macy Hansen, Boyce Allen Haar, Brendan Jamal Harris, Samantha Rose Hartung, Spencer Harvey, Shania Murray Heck, Kyle Hellerud, Ryan Hennessy, Seth Richard Henry, Ashley M. Hernandez, Shannon Hicks, Christopher John Hoffman, Garrett Hone, TJ Hokinson, Jacob Lee Horns, Ezra Hosh, Omar Hossein, Jianglong Huang, Hunter M. Holst, Katie Humhedge, Zachary Hyun, Chan Kwang Hyun, Jeanette Inocencio, Sarah Elizabeth John, Mitchell Jasinoski, Ibu Jassy, Brittany N. Johnson, Kiana Johnson, Rachel Marie Johnson, Travis Johnson, Scott Jordheim, Katie Lenore Jorscom, Laura Ady Juniman, Eli Young, Roslyn Irgagni Consoli, Robert Kelly, Sagan King, Keaton Allen Joss, Michael Lee Klasko, Tanya Klinkner, Tanya Knudsen, Adam Kepke, Ma Na Kong, Zarek Kozel, Blaine Kryl, Emma Kronloken, Avanti Kunamneni, Belinda Labor, Sean Ladd, Josette Lagimodieri Smith, Zachary Lamb, J.T. Langley, Ray Lansrath, Randy Larson, Cameron Lou Larson, Paul Lasky, Logan LeClaire, Katya Maria Lee, Jessica Lynn Lee, Sandra Lee, Bennett D. LaRude, Hua Lee, Ryan Douglas Leibel, Ellie Lindstrom, Courtney Lintwed, Lucas Long, Blanca Lopez, Veronica Ann Lundquist, Jacob Robert Mazer, Mohammed Mohammed, Brittany Nicole Majette, Jill Marie Marty, Heather Dawn Martin, Patrick James Matthew Halmrast, Corey Matthews, Chris Matter, Jesse Mayrie, Marshall Bonga, Jacoby Michael McConkey, Michelle McCraw, Joe McGovern, Nicole McMillan, Brandon Lynn Meek, Michaela Jo Miney, Stacy Minen, Sydney Lavoy Melby, Alexandra Menk, Sarah Mensing, Kim Myers, Ray Ann Michael, Olivia Jane Mickelson, Bryce Miller, Kevin Mills, Marcus Christian Moe, Bibi Sharif Mohammed, Hassan Warsam Mohammed, Shuaib Mohammed, Indosa Montoya, Martha Moran, Lucas M. Morgan, Jonathan Mudd, Joseph D. Much, Giovanna Maria Mirchin, Brittany Lee Myers, Julia Beth Nagler, Fatima Batul Nakvi, Joseph Enrique Nava, Emma Nelson, Katie Nelson, Grace Netzer, Jeremy Neumann, Jordan Clara Newberg, Nicole Jean Nielsen, Jacob Nielsen, Shauna Christine Nordland, Sadira Nordstrom, Constance Ochwangi, Gabriella Onasorge, Chris Oja, Trevor Kent Olson, Dalton Olson, Jessica Ida Olson, Osayamwense Onaganor, Drew Palmer Opdahl, Denise Ortiz, Ricky Oyaro, Sabrina Paul, Ryan Payne, Virginia Peterson, Roger Pence, Katina Nicole Paravalotis, Lori Pesh, Jackson Peterson, Maggie Peterson, Jamie Susan Peterson, Autumn Petron, Kate Payton, Michelle Pfau, Stephanie Pye, Jake Pikarski, Ashley K. Piepenberg, Gabriela Jorge Pinto, Tiana Polzin, Debbie Pongsack, Mike Powell, Malia Pula, Ahmad Cater, Cassie Query, Christine Raymond, Brock Samuel Reller, Carly Bryn Rennie, Hannah Marie Risdall, Rachel Rivas, Raymond Daniel Roberts, Gwendolyn Robinson, Beth Rockensock, Matthew Wrongstead, David Rose, Dan Rowe, Julie Ann Rubner, Grace Ruckheim, Mason Ruhlman, Chris Rutchick,